Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the Manchester carry chain adder. In this Manchester carry chain adder, we have used the propagate, generate, and the delete terms. Okay, we have the Manchester carry adder in the form of the static implementation, and another form we have also given, that is the dynamic implementation. Okay, in the static implementation part, when propagate term is true, when p is true, then this transmission gate will be in the working state, and the Ci will get transferred to the C naught. And if Pi is not satisfied, then this implies that propagate term is not satisfied. That means it is false, or it is 0. So either the C naught will go to the VDD or either go to the ground, depending on the value of the Gi and the Di. That means the generate part and the delete part. And we have very familiar with this. G is equals to A into B, and Di is equals to A bar into B bar. Okay, so we are familiar with this. Actually Di is equals to AB bar. Okay, now in the dynamic implementation part, okay, basically to eliminate the delete part, we have switched to dynamic implementation, cause transition in a dynamic circuits are monotonic. So what does it mean that is monotonic? It means that all dynamic inputs goes from low to high only during the evaluation time. Evaluation time means when phi is equals to 1. Okay, phi is equals to 1, this means that evaluation time. Okay, so let's talk about the analysis of the dynamic implementation during the pre-charging phase. That means when phi is equals to 0, C naught bar is directly connected to the VDD. As you can see, when phi is equals to 0, C naught bar is directly connected to the VDD during the pre-charge time. So, and during the evaluation phase, that is when phi is equals to 1. So the main thing which is going to take in place is in this process during the evaluation phase. During the evaluation phase, when phi is equals to 1, that means node 1 is directly connected to the ground, and the C naught bar value will be dependent upon the Pi and the Gi. Okay, whether C naught bar is connected to ground or C naught bar is connected to the Ci bar, it depends on the value of the Pi and the Gi. Now we will use this dynamic implementation Manchester carry chain adder to see for the 4-bit carry chain adder. Okay, we have drawn this circuit for the 4-bit carry chain adder. Okay, this is phi, and this is also phi, and we have the generate terms here, we have propagate terms here, and Ci0 is the input carry that we have given. We have basically taken the implement form because there is a power supply drop problems in most of the cases, so passing 0 is always the much easier way. Okay, so we have this for the 4 bits carry chain adder we have implemented using the dynamic implementation, and now we have considered it as a RC network and calculate the propagation time. Okay, so let's draw the RC network. So we have successfully drawn the RC network. This is the R1 which is corresponding to M0, R2 which is corresponding to M1, R3 which is corresponding to M2, and R4 which is corresponding to M3. Okay, this is the RC network, and the input goes from low to high transition is taken place. And from the previous knowledge of the MOSFET, we can easily say that the propagation time is equals to 0.69 into RC. Okay, we are very familiar with this equation, basic equation. So 0.69 we have put it here, and here we have taken a general term. If there is an n bit adder, so there will be a n bit, and the capacitors will be n. So we have sum I is equals to 1 to n into Ci. In the same way, corresponding to every C we have R also, so we have put it R in the summation itself. And from this we will get the general nth term, the sum of the general n terms. So we can easily say that 0.69 into n plus 1 by 2 into RC. Okay, now obviously this circuit, it also has some disadvantage. So let's talk about the some of the disadvantage of it. The first of all is that capacitance per node on carry chain for our 4 diffusion capacitance. As you can see, if this is the node, then we have the 4 diffusion diffusion capacitance due to this, diffusion capacitance due to this transistor, this transistors, and also this transistors. Okay, 4 diffusion capacitance we have, and the 1 input capacitance. Okay, 1 input capacitance of what? Of the inverter. We have the inverter here, so capacitance due to the inverter we have also responsible at this node. Okay, and we have the wiring capacitance. As you can clearly see, we have the wiring, there's lots of wire here, so we have wire capacitance here. Okay, so the basic need is to eliminate these capacitances, and we can eliminate these capacitances by increase the size of the transistors. Okay, so that is, the R should be minimized. To R to be minimized, if the R is minimized, then this implies that we have to increase the size of the transistor. If R is minimized, we have to increase the size of the transistor, that is W by L ratio should be increases, because as we know, the resistances are is inversely proportional to W by L. If R is increases, then W by L decreases, or if it is R is decreases, then the W by L ratio should be increases. But if the size gets increases, then ultimately large wire will be required and will produce the larger currents, and therefore we will require the larger powers. Okay, so it in this way, this adder circuit, it also has some limitation. So we will in the next few lectures, we will see some of the adders also. It will be deduce the some problems and speed up, and the power should be reduced. So have a nice day and goodbye.